Hey everybody, it's Tanner here. We just want to give you an update about what's been going on with Imago Dei and our church planting efforts here in Omaha, Nebraska. It's been an amazing, difficult, hard, it's the same word I know, but challenging, rewarding, beautiful journey this last year as we've done our internship here in Omaha, Nebraska. Well, exciting news is that that ended January, and then February we got brought on as full-time church planters with the goal to be able to go and launch Imago Dei, and we're hoping to be able to launch our core group meetings in September. So that's right around the corner. And before that, we're going to start our prayer meetings in April. So that's actually right around the corner too. We'll start meeting once a month just to pray and cast vision and invite other pastors and church members and people from around the area to come and check this out and see if that's something they want to be a part of. And hopefully through that, they'll continue God will continue to add numbers to our home groups that we're meeting on Tuesdays, and we'll be able to multiply that before we plant this church. We're looking at in the future being able to launch publicly, kind of like the grand opening in a way, being able to do that in February of 2024. So it's really not too far away, a year, for a public launch, and less than a year for a core team launch. It's been amazing to see what God has done from the time that I first came up here to Omaha, and I got to go to Camino a la Cruz and be called up here to church plant, to see that there was this huge diverse group that was meeting at this church, and we were preaching in English and preaching in Spanish, and we were singing in English and singing in Spanish. And as I looked around the room, there was black and brown and white, and there was rich and there was poor. There was what looked like the throne room of heaven when we get there, right? And that's what Julia actually turned around and said to me at that moment. She said, "This is as close as we're ever going to get to heaven." From that moment forward, I knew that was the church that we wanted to plant. Whether we spoke all English or whether we spoke bilingually, we didn't care. We just knew that we wanted to create a church that was diverse, a church that was mixed with different socioeconomical standings, right? A church that was built to glorify God and look like that throne room of heaven. So this last year with Waymaker Baptist Church has been amazing, in working with Rick and Sherry, my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, and that has gone well. We've learned a lot from them, and we were grateful for the foundation that they helped lay for us. We wouldn't be able to have the head start that we have now if it wasn't for them. And then, as we kind of moved on from there, we got hooked up with City Light Mosaic, a church that we began going to before we moved up here. And City Light Mosaic actually brought us on to send us back out this year as our sending church here in Omaha, Nebraska. Jacob Richardson, our pastor, he's really great. He's been a missionary in Guatemala for a while. He's helped plant churches here in Omaha. So he really knows what he's doing. And it's been a blessing to be able to link arms with him and have him send us out. And all the while that all of this is going on this last year, we've always kind of had a heart for the Midtown area of Omaha, Nebraska, Midtown Exarban area. And as I found out that a church that was meeting at that Heartland Church Network building where we're going to be launching at was actually moving to go and merge to another church, man, I got excited because I was like, Lord, if this is it, man, this would be a great place to be able to plant a church. So we started praying and we started asking the associational missional strategist of Heartland Church Network if this was an option, and it was yes all across the board, And so it was just a totally clear sign from the Lord that we're supposed to be here and planting this church. And so it's an amazing thing. We're excited to be able to get into the building and start utilizing it more. Right now, as a church that we're meeting in homes, like I said, we transition between two houses. We have up to 5 families and 1 individual that meets. So we have up to 11 people that meet right now, plus 6 kids. So it's not a bad problem to have. We already need childcare, right? We already need help there. And so right now what we're kind of working through is how are we going to develop leaders to be able to fill the positions that we'll need on opening day? How are we going to continue to grow deeper in discipleship? And how are we going to continue to grow together as a family? Our model is that Acts chapter 2, verses 42 through 47 model that daily we're devoting ourselves to the apostles' doctrine, to fellowship, to praying, to the breaking of the bread. And that's what we do as a family here, as an Imago Dei family. So it's been an exciting adventure. It's been awesome to see the people that have supported us along the way. it's been challenging, like I said. And some things that we want to celebrate is that we've actually been incorporated as Imago Dei Church here in Omaha, Nebraska. So that's something like I'm so excited about to be able to do that. And I know it doesn't really matter too much, but to be able to put the website and the Facebook together, to be able to advertise those things out and continue to grow. We're seeing our families that are meeting at Imago Dei, meeting in homes, right now. And we're starting to see those families reach out to other people and bring others in too. So, man, we're really hoping to be able to multiply those home groups before we, like I said before we come in and do our core team launch and stuff. So that's kind of the direction that we're heading. That's kind of the update over the last year or so. God saw it fit to buy us a house in a way here. Obviously we pay the mortgage, but he saw it fit to ordain the way for us to be able to own a house here in Omaha, Nebraska. We live in South Omaha, right behind the zoo. It's a great spot, an awesome area. It's not far from anything that we have to do, within 10 minutes. So yeah, we're grateful. We're blessed. We thank everybody from Salem, Missouri, for giving and for praying for us, and also in Springfield and everywhere else, even here in Omaha, Nebraska. Everybody that has given and supported and prayed for us. And if there's a few things that I could ask you guys to pray for, is that you guys would just pray for the direction of Imago Dei, that we would all link arms together as this small core team that we have now and be driven in a common path and driven towards lifting up the name of God and making disciples. And honestly, that's why we exist as Imago Dei, is that we exist because we know that all people have been made in the image of God, right? The unbeliever and the believer. We know that all people have been stained by sin. We know that all people need a redeemer. And we know that God has this purpose to bring it all back full circle again, where the image of God is made perfect and we're able to worship and walk with God. And we want to invite everybody that we can into that home, into that mansion in the future that we have in eternity. And so that's our goal, and that's what we're trying to strive towards, is just pray that everybody's on the same page. We have some big plans with the area at Heartland Church Network to be able to kind of make it more like a park, because many people from the neighborhood come and congregate there. And so we want to be able to utilize that area for missional engagements, for evangelism, and things like that. So just pray for that. Pray that God would send the support to be able to get all that done, that God would send the finances to be able to get that done, that God would send the people to come after we build it. And it's not trying to be pragmatic or anything like that, but we're just trying to use the place that we have, kind of like the watering hole, right? Kind of like the well. And just pray that we would have those engagements with our neighborhood. Thank you, guys. We love you. See ya.